Podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. WandaVision episode 2, and I think this episode's better than the first.
Yeah, because way more things are going on.
Things are happening. I think for new viewers, you can kind of, if this whole concept is weird to you, start with the second episode.
Yeah.
I kind of really liked the first episode. It was a little too by numbers of like crazy, whoa, we're stuck in a sitcom. Mm-hmm. And this one kind of shows more of the breakdown, so you're more interested in what's happening.
Yeah.
So looks like we're jumping ahead about a decade at a time from episode to episode. And when we said Bewitched last time, it's really Bewitched this time because the way they open is like 1,000% Bewitched.
Yeah, even Crimson was coming. I wonder if each episode they're going to have a different intro.
That'd
be
cool.
We open up, and of course the beds are separate because, you guys sleep in the same bed. Because no one had sex back then.
I know, right? Even though people got pregnant.
The babies came from the Storker from New Jersey. That was the line back then.
You put a diamond in the Cabbage Patch, and then a baby's born. So they're in separate beds, but you keep hearing like something like outside. I'm like, and then like Wanda keeps turning on the light, and then turns it off. This is how no, she keeps turning out. So like scared there's something out there. Vision goes and checks, looks at the window. There's nothing out there. Then he hears another sound. Oh, he gets all scared. Like,
but you guys are so powerful.
You guys got superpowers.
Yeah, just take care of it.
That's what makes it funny. I love that. I love the fact that he was like scared, but they're like, well, then they get scared again, and then the beds get pulled together because she like used their magic.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, someone needs to go out there and check. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, you!
Yeah, someone should.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. Yeah. Like, what's going to be out there? Then she opens up the blinds. Oh, he's all scared. And it was just like the tree branch hitting the window. Oh. And like, oh, that must be the burglar. Because they talked about like, oh, there's been strange people that moved in. And they're like, they think they're talking about us?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that can't be because we're like upstanding citizens or whatever. So I'm wanting to see that all.
And then it was weird because they did say there was some burglaries happening, so it was someone trying to
break into the simulation.
They is trying to break simulation. They're like I said, they're bringing the confines of the late '50s, so they can kind of say, oh, it's just burglars.
Yeah,
so they don't realize, it's someone from the outside
trying to cut in.
But then they get the whole, oh, you just use this occasion to bring our beds together. And then she makes it one big bed, and then of course they go underneath the covers. Yeah, because that's how people do it. They go.
I use a saying that I never use on this podcast from the dating game. They made whoopee.
Yeah, but that's what they would say. So like literally underneath the blanket, because that's how it happens. Then of course she turns up the light, and then it's all like
yeah.
But it's the next morning, and they're getting up, and I'm like, okay, so now things are a little different now because it's like we're 10 years ahead because things even their house looks different too.
Yeah, it's 2 stories now.
Yeah, so we get the Bewitched opener. They're like flying around. It's all animated. I actually love the hell out of this. But then it's like WandaVision, ding 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 ding, WandaVision. They keep saying it, and it gets a little weird, a little creepy because the way they kind of everyone's like, and then the whole thing like how he's a robot. And I was bringing up this would actually be a real sitcom. Oh, my husband the robot, so he can't drink water.
Well, like you saying, everything's centered around Wanda.
Yeah.
That's the theme that just keeps coming over and over again.
So like, oh, at the water cooler, oh, there's the boss. And it's like, oh, they know this.
And he throws the water next to the boss, he can't drink.
Yeah.
Or eat anything.
But didn't he drink wine at the dinner table?
He did.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
So we get back to the thing, and then we see Vision's like practicing some magician act. Oh, bring in the Chamber of Illusions. Honey, that was your cue. Did you say Chamber of Illusions? Like in all the stupid sitcom. Then she like brings
her hands on her hips. Hey, you.
But it's just this giant chest, and it has the Mind Stone on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, it's gotta mean something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And it's like shiny, and then like.
But he's like doing this big like act. I'm like, okay, this has to be for like the company picnic or something like that. But then I guess this is for. I guess the town has a talent show that raises money for the
children. And it's kind of creepy because it's funny they say that. There's no kids in this town.
Yeah, I don't see a child. No single child.
There's not even a child at later on, but it's weird, right?
Yeah.
But it's they have of course the funny kind of things where you go into the thing and she's supposed to disappear, of course as it falls back. But then she like turns around and you see it revolve. Oh, honey, don't you think people aren't going to be tricked if you leave the door open? You got to shut the door.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that's the whole point is to be tricked. Everyone knows it's fake. So, like, they want to be part of the group. Like, oh, they're doing the talent show. We got to be part of the talent show. And Wanda is,
she's pushing it.
like, oh, we need to fit in. This is our home now.
She broke character just
a
for
little
that
bit.
split second to tell Vision that, no, this is our home.
And then Vision looked at her like, okay.
Yeah, and they kind of just go along with it. And then it goes right back into, like, sitcom mode. I think she knows that if she leaves here, he dies.
He dies. Yeah, because she's only in his mind or her mind.
Yeah, so, super weird. So I guess he's like, okay, I'm off to the, I guess there's a town meeting for all the guys because it's going to be neighborhood watch. She's like, oh yeah, because those tree branches, but he wants to make sure the place is protected. That's when you kind of get that whole, like, Red Scare, 1950s,
communist.
Yeah.
Commie.
So he's going to go off and go do that, and then she's going to go meet up with the ladies. So of course, the men have to go do manly things, and the women have to do womanly things.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the
So-
plan for the talent show. Whatever.
So 1950s, it's ridiculous. So he puts on his little sweater and everything. He's gonna go out there, and she walks outside, and then we get this different camera angles where it doesn't feel like it's not sitcom anymore.
No.
She walks outside, and she kind of noticed something in the bushes, and it's in color,
It's red and yellow.
bright red and yellow. She walks up to it and picks it up, and first we can't see what it is. Like, it's like a helicopter. And I remember you were saying that maybe it's a drone. But it confines itself to what it would be like in this world.
So it has to look like a
And
helicopter.
then in the very corner, there's a sword symbol.
Yeah, she picks it up and you see the sword.
And she starts thinking, what the hell is this? And she starts to...
But she looks up at the window and sees the tree branch. Well, maybe it was the drone and not the tree branch. Or what this helicopter was.
It was.
I'm guarantee you it must have been a drone. And it just looks like that in
It
this
has
world.
to because it's in that, yeah.
And then oddly enough, the one that stops her is Donna.
Yeah, the
Then she
friend.
just pops out of nowhere, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Like almost like, are you like her protector to keep her like?
And
on
she's
track?
like, oh, okay. And then she kind of snaps out of it.
Here's the star of the show.
Yeah, she said that.
She's like, what? The rabbit I brought over. But it's like, was that supposed to be for the magic act? But that's like the keep you... There's a very Truman Show aspect to this. Keep you in the illusion. Keep you in the fake.
But it's also interesting too. You notice when the laugh track's not laughing, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, when the music gets all
It's
like
almost weird,
serious.
and you know it's yeah. When she looked at the helicopter, there was no laugh track or anything.
What was his name? Senior Nibbles or something
He's something
stupid.
stupid.
Oh, he was baby Jesus in the last thing.
That's just a talent show.
Oh,
Christmas show.
the Christmas pageant. So like she's like, we're gonna take care of him. I'm like, let's get going, and I gotta give you some advice. And then she talks to we see the mailman. Who, wonder, he doesn't do anything except for he's just there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, pew pew, don't shoot the messenger. I bet you he went by and he grabbed that helicopter
He probably did.
or something because we don't see it again. But I bet you as he was delivering the mail, he probably grabbed it and
And
put
then
it in
literally, her friend grabs her arm and takes her to where they have
yeah,
to
and
go.
we have to get going.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
boom pulses her.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I think she is the one keeping her like, hey, we gotta keep things going, keep things moving.
So she's
Even if they even realize it, they could be manipulated to do this. We don't even know.
We don't even know. Yeah.
So they're walking and they're like, I just got to give you some advice. And she's like, is it about what I'm wearing? Well, it's already too late for that.
I thought that was so
That was really funny. But she's like, you need to get in good with, what was her name? Dottie?
Dottie, the head of the committee.
She's the one running the committee. You get in with her, then everything's going to be smooth after that. She's like, how about I just be myself? And then
You can tell she gets pissed.
She's pissed, almost like.
and it's like dead silence. She's like, ha, you're so funny.
Yeah, that's a laugh.
No,
No, because she gives her all these other things. They go, why can't I just be myself? Why do I have to do all this?
You have to make sure you do this. You got to do this one. You go to the meeting. You make sure you're sitting this way, and you have to do everything that Dottie tells you to do. Because that's like the queen bee. That whole
Yeah, the
thing.
whole thing. Yeah.
Then it's like, her house, her flowers bloom under gunpoint. They're all making fun of her. But then when they see everyone walking out, your roses are so beautiful. Like everyone's
But
just
that's
fake.
all phony,
Yeah.
fake. But I think Gaga's a larger picture. This is all fake.
Yeah.
It's all fake facade.
We're all living in this phony world.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with this place? So they're at the little thing, there's the pool, the little veranda, and they're all sitting there. And one lady's talking about, we made sure to get like these antique, what was it? It wasn't the chairs, it was something else. And she's like, but what about the chairs? Well, I didn't ask. Well, it looks like you're not going to have to ask about being on any more committees after this.
Yeah.
Wow,
Being
this
a
Dottie
bee.
is a bigger bitch.
Yeah, no, because that lady, the other lady didn't have a chair. She's like, well, no chairs.
Yeah, because she didn't get the specific ones.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Then she's like, and she kind of sits down and everyone kind of laughs at her. But like Wanda's like, that's not.
Yeah, Wanda's looking like, that's not right.
But she's trying to do everything Dottie's doing. So she puts two sugar cubes in her tea. Then she does 2 sugar cubes and she stirs it like this. And then she stirs it like this. So she's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
But she also realizes this isn't me.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And then she has a
It's
friend.
bougie. It's bougie as all heck.
She's sitting next to a black woman, which is going to be Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
But she says her name something else.
No,
Because when she asks her name, she even has to think about it.
Mhm.
But she's like, hello. And she's like, and they're kind of a little side conversation. Dottie's like, no side chatter. We're supposed to be talking about the committees
Committee,
now.
yeah.
And she's like, doesn't want them talking.
I don't think they want to talk because they don't want them to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, she even says like a joke where they say their names, and I'm annoyed because like you keep
She goes,
talking.
I'm Wanda.
Yeah, and she goes, I wasn't, and then there's Rambo, she goes, I wasn't here before. Like, literally, I don't think she was in this world before. Like,
Well, she's like, I feel out of place.
Yeah. And she's like, I really like your outfit. But she goes, yeah, but I feel... That's what Wanda says.
I was
I
wearing
feel
pants
out of
and
place.
not a skirt.
Yeah. And then she goes, and that's when she goes, I really feel out of place because I don't remember being here.
Yeah.
But in a weird way of like, you're starting to connect the dots, but like, why would I be here if I'm not supposed to be here? So then you get like snapped back into the fantasy.
The fantasy, yeah.
So they keep talking, and then she's talking about, well, we got to make sure we do. And it's funny, she keeps embarrassing herself.
Yeah.
Like when she's like, oh, talking to Wanda, she has a cookie in her mouth. You know, all the silly, like.
You gotta do proper etiquette.
And
Just stuff in
then
her
when you
face.
have one point, you have to clap, and she just claps, and you go, I didn't mean right now. You have to clap later.
We clap at an appropriate
Yeah,
time. This lady's something else.
For the
but,
children.
But then they say, oh, you know, make sure this is the only one big event, and it's for the children. For the children. I'm like, oh, this is a Hell Hydra.
Yeah.
That's a Hell Hydra. Hell Hydra, and they do it all at the thing. That's that cadence, the way they said it, and they also say it in that weird robotic kind of way.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, this For the Children was for Hydra.
So do you think this program is made by Hydra?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
But we saw a sword thing. I think there's
They're
competing people trying to get to
Infiltrate.
them. Infiltrate to this
Whatever
world.
this anomaly is, yeah, you're right. There's secret groups all attacking it, trying to get it.
Well, I think Sword's trying to communicate directly with Wanda and them, and I think Hydra's trying to control it.
But who started it?
I don't know.
But what is this thing?
Well, again, sorry to speculate, but in the trailer, we do see that one girl that deals with all those distortions from Thor. So maybe it's like a distortion that randomly just appeared.
Maybe.
And then to keep themselves alive, she invented this world.
Yeah.
Because remember, Wanda can make anything. Yeah.
She's super crazy powerful. So then we get to the library, and this is where the men are meeting.
Yeah, the men.
And then, I like how Vision kind of walks in. He's like holding his hat. He's like, gentlemen, is this the meeting for the neighborhood watch? And they're like, well, I didn't know you'd be here. And I'm thinking to myself, like, they kind of didn't want him to be there.
I don't think they wanted to be there. I think they were going to discuss other things.
Because they weren't even talking about it. There's like, oh, I was waiting for new business. Oh, that's when I can introduce something because that's, protocol. And then he's like, oh, we're about to do new business now. He's like, oh yeah, I need to bring up, are we rotating patrols? Or who's running this? Or what kind of times?
Almost like what you would do, like if defending the Avengers headquarters, not a neighborhood.
Exactly, and I think they got put off by that.
It's like, Vision, when we say new business, we mean new Danishes, and they're just like goofing.
Yeah, they're just goofing around. They're not even doing anything. They're just goofing off.
And they kind of slowly get him off track from that.
And then he's like, hey, I got some secret information, and then like Vision's like, oh yes, okay, so I want to hear, because I want to know about there could be burgers and stuff. I heard that that Mr. Whatever, when he was getting those bowling trophies, they weren't even real. He just bought them at a garage sale. Oh, and then so they're just gossiping.
Yeah,
just like a bunch of old hags. What are you guys doing?
And then like you said, it changes the whole mood of the meeting because they were kind of more quiet, and now they're all being, oh, we're silly, stupid.
And this is super weird. Then like they're going, everyone's saying that they're stupid little things about like, oh, that house he bought. He didn't build it. It was a prefab. Oh, you couldn't swing a hammer if you tried. Like, it's just a bunch of gossip.
Stupid, yeah.
Then Vision's like, oh, I got some dirt. And like the guy sitting next to him, he's like, oh yeah, he's a communist. And then like, everyone's like, what the F?
And they just start laughing off.
Oh, you're such a funny guy. But is he really?
Yeah.
Because why would he say that unless he really knew it?
I don't know. It's weird.
They're like, oh, I thought you were such a square. Actually, I'm as round as a gum.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you get some big red gum?
See, red skull, the Hydra, the red dog,
the red helicopter too.
The red helicopter. I'm thinking they gotta be Hydra or some Nazi something.
Yeah.
So like, oh, but remember he talked about like he didn't eat the Danishes. Well, I don't eat food. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, not between meals I don't eat food. Oh, but at meals I eat a lot. So then they offer him the gum and he takes it and he's like, yeah, I thought you didn't eat food. So gum isn't food. And the other guy's like, is gum food? Because that's like a stupid guy discussion. Yeah.
And then he like says like, oh, it's an actual something.
For gestation. It's like basically to distract yourself, but it sounds like something else ends in bation. Yeah. He goes like, I don't do that.
You're starting to see like, the breaking down too.
But again, though, is that a metaphor? Like, oh, it's to distract you, which is literally what it's doing. It's distracting him.
Yeah, and then the guy isn't hitting him on the back or something.
He's showing the guy's like, oh, I thought you're a good guy, man. He goes and gives him a pat in the back and he like goes down his throat.
And it's like a cartoony stomach thing.
And he's like a robot, like he has gears. And it literally gums up his gears.
Well, the thing is, you figured Vision won't look like that, but again, I think even his body's constructed from the late 50s, so it's all gonna interact.
Yeah, what a robot would look like from the 50s.
Or like how they're like the Tin Man,
from Wizard of Oz, yeah.
So like, he's starting to get all messed up, and he's like, oh, wow. Oh, and he starts acting silly. Oh, you're such a cut-up. So now they're gonna just be like a bunch of drunken idiots.
Yeah.
get back to the Wanda, and she's with Dottie. I'm so thankful you had me help clean up, and she's just sitting back doing nothing, and literally it's Wanda doing
like,
everything.
You should be kind of thing. Like, oh geez,
You should be grateful that you get to be in my presence. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dottie.
I'm so glad that these ladies still exist to this day. That there's women that are exactly like this Dottie lady.
Yeah.
But then she's like, I felt like we got off on the wrong foot, and I kind of want to fix that. How would you fix that, Wanda? And then she's like, Then she's like, you know what? I know about you. I know about you and your husband. It's like, oh my goodness,
What's going on?
It's getting super weird. And the radio's playing music.
Yeah.
And it's that help me Donna, help.
help.
Was it Rhonda? Help
Wanda,
me
help me,
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
But Wanda.
Well, and also Donna is not the girl that usually keeps her on track.
Yeah.
So was that like a code to be like get Donna back to where?
Well, what's so funny is but funny how it went from Donna to Wanda like it got split.
See, then it starts getting louder and louder, and then it starts getting distorted. And then you
And
look
she's
over at the radio. They're like, then the other lady's like, what's happening? Who are you?
Who are you?
Because I think the reality's breaking down. Because she literally has no idea who she is.
And then it starts getting Wanda like
Who's doing this to
Who's
you?
doing this to Wanda? Who's doing this to you?
Then it's
And
then everything goes back to normal.
And her hand.
Yeah,
she
it's
had
just-
glass in her hand, and she's bleeding. You can see the blood. It's very like, oh man, she's bleeding pretty bad.
And then Wanda's like, oh my god. She grabs like a napkin and gives it to her. And she's like, how does a housewife get blood out of a handkerchief? And she's like, well, she does it herself. And she walks away. And it's like, oh, now we're back.
And then the
in
laugh
fantasy.
track starts laughing, and Wanda's like, what the hell? You just cut yourself.
That's a really bad cut.
God. Yeah, you want to take care of that. Go to the
Get
doctors.
the glass out of there. But crazy. See, music has a lot to do with. Remember the music in the last one with the yakety yak, don't talk back. And
Yeah,
now
but I
this-
just love how it went from Wanda to Wanda. Like
Yeah.
they were like competing. Like maybe that was Hydra, then it went to
Yeah,
Sword.
sword. Again, who knows who's the bad guys? Maybe they're all bad guys.
Yeah, and also, like you said, is Donna knowing what's going on?
I think they're prisoners too, and then they get programmed again because I think they're easily manipulated.
Because like, I almost feel like that was a code to get like, okay, it's breaking down, get her out of there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she's starting to
get it moving. Yeah,
get it moving again.
Oh, we're going off script.
Yeah.
Then we get another commercial. A man is never truly dressed unless he has two things. His lady on his arm, and then what was it, a stickler?
Stroker.
A stroper? And it's like, oh, I'm against the watch, and it's totally the Hydra symbol.
Yeah.
And now you were telling me that guy was like one of the founding members
Yeah, he
of
was
Hydra.
watching Shield back in the 30s. He's one of the founding members of Hydra.
So, well, Hydra's involved.
Yeah.
And that's when I clicked, oh, when they say for the children, that's a hair Hydra.
Yeah.
That has to be a hair Hydra.
Now the first commercial said it was fall. Now this was more like a Watchmen commercial.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the Manning is. Yeah, I know. Sophisticated, man.
It's super cool. I like props and stuff, but I don't like owning stuff with Hydra stuff on
Yeah,
it.
it'd be
'Cause
kinda
just like
weird.
Nazi memorabilia, to me,
Yeah.
it just feels weird. I would never own, I would never buy anything.
Yeah,
Even
know.
though Hydra doesn't exist, it's just the fact that it's connected to
No,
Nazis.
I
and-
can't.
no.
If they're ever gonna be, it's gonna be Captain America with it. Like,
Yeah, like he's punching a
Yeah,
Hydra guy.
yeah.
Like, just people buy like the Hydra stickers. I just don't like it. Again, do whatever you want. Just me, it makes me feel like
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
no.
Yeah, I remember even Marvel wanted them to do all this Hydra stuff in these stores, these comic stores. Like, no, we're not gonna put those.
Because it
things
makes
out.
It's too creepy.
Come to your local Nazi store.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So so we know Hydra's involved now.
Yeah.
We get to now they're having the talent show. So everyone else is like talent things like stupid like people tap dancing and someone's pretending to be a horse. Like, okay, what is that?
And it's the most generic looking horse.
I like the fact that the other lady's like, oh man, I'd hate to follow that act. It's like the dumbest act of all time.
You guys will be fine.
Oh, where's my husband?
I guarantee if the person just stood there and did nothing, she'd said that because that's what the script told her to say. It could have been nothing, and she would have said the same thing.
Yeah, it could have been the
So
guy just.
Wanda's worried because Vision isn't showing up, but we know Vision's all jacked up now. I don't know. Oh, is that your husband? And he's like walks up there and he's all like drunk and like so it makes it look like he just got smashed. And like, hey, let's go ahead and let's get. He's like his shirt's all untucked. He looks all like
I know. It's okay. You're sure you look awful.
And he's like, we were playing horses shoes, shoe horse. Like you're playing horseshoes. They're like, oh, just me and the guys, and like he's just acting like an idiot. And Wanda's like, what the hell's wrong with
And
you?
they show stuff again. They come so his horse.
The gears are all grinding.
It's so stupid.
For one piece of gum? Like, I can imagine if you eat like a bunch or did that, but literally one piece of gum did this all
That's
the
what
time.
makes it funny, though.
But we have to get out there. We have to do a thing. Oh, the next act is up. And, Wanda walks out there. And then she's like, and the magnificent, what was his name? Illusion. And he's not walking out. She's like, ha.
And then that's
like,
your cue.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get out there. How's everybody doing? Like completely like a drunken idiot. It's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But everyone's just smiling and going along with it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to do some amazing acts. And this is another thing. Remember talking about people being manipulated? He says that, because your human brains are so easily manipulated.
Yeah.
See, like, he's giving out cues of what the bigger picture was.
Without knowing he is.
Without knowing he is, yeah.
Then he's like, oh, what my husband is trying to say. Like, Wanda keeps, like, saving it. But I think, it's going to be like a comedy act. Like, he's like the drunken
Yeah, that's
wizard.
what she tries to, she tries to make it that way.
Oh, my first feet. And he starts to fly because Vision can fly. And they're like, oh my God, how's he doing that?
Yeah, he's flying.
Then, like, Wanda makes it look like he's, like, on like a rope thing. Oh, I see the rope. And then it just plays into the thing of how people are so easily going to find the most rational answer.
And then notice how Wanda's the one trying to fix it. So that's a bigger
she's
thing
trying
in
to keep the
world,
illusion going.
going.
There it is. And it's such a big rope. How could you have not have seen it at first?
Exactly, because he just literally
But
flies up there.
if you think late 50s sitcom, they're going to think, oh, I didn't see that before. It's there now.
And Dottie's really paying attention, like really looking at it. So it's like, this is really weird.
Yeah, like she's really into like this act.
Yes.
Then like, oh, whoa. And he's like getting kind of flung around a little bit. Everyone's laughing. Oh, starts clapping. Then she lets him down and everything. He's like, okay, time for my next act. And he's going to, he's like, oh, an amazing feat of strength.
Yeah,
he picks up the piano, like, how's he able to pick that up? Then Wanda's like, oh, let me help you there, Master Illusionist. She picks it up, turns it, oh, it's all flat. It was flat. Oh,
no. One game said, that was my mom's piano. You guys destroyed it. Good job.
Because he was playing it before.
How was he playing it? But people don't even think of it like, oh, it was fake. Well, how was it fake before?
For that split second, he thought about it, but then it probably went away.
Yeah.
Like, that was my grandma's piano. Then he's like, okay, I need a member from the audience, and it's that one guy. And what was his name? Like Neil, but his name was like something else, and he just kept calling the wrong name because he didn't remember. Oh, okay, now pick a card and put it back, and we'll find it. Oh, is this your card? No, then this is your card. And he starts going through the whole deck.
And he starts doing super fast.
And he gets to the last card. Yeah, that is my card. Oh, that was the trick. No, he
did the whole deck.
Did it completely wrong.
He did it all backwards. At least the last card. So this makes it maybe it was supposed to be that way. I don't know. No one just accepts it.
Yeah, then they move on to the next one, and we look back. Oh, the rabbit got out. So the rabbit's like running around the stage, and I like how Wanda's like, how about we leave the rabbit out? I don't want you to kill it or do something crazy.
Yeah. And then that lady says something about the rabbit. Oh yeah, I wish you were something like my husband or
something.
No,
she's like, oh, he's such a great actor. Oh, isn't he great because it's her rabbit?
Yeah, and then she goes to the disappearing act. Yeah.
Then remember he does the hat trick.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, oh, since I can't pull a rabbit out of a hat, I'll pull the hat out of me, and he makes it go through his body, and then everyone's like, whoa,
how do you do that?
And then like, oh, these are just trademark secrets or whatever, and it's like they just like accept it, and they go, let's get on the next trick. Oh, we're gonna make my wife disappear in the magic closet or whatever, and she brings it out, and I do like the fact that he's like ready to do the trick, opens it up and closes it. She didn't get in yet. He's all tapping it, and then she's like, I didn't get in the closet. Oh, then everyone starts screaming, what's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the
box?
box?
I mean, just like Seven, like the movie Seven, like literally, what's in the box?
But they're like all happy, and then she does a little trick, and then it's she does have a different name, but it's Monica Rambeau because it's her.
I wonder if that is her from Captain Marvel. It's just supposed to be a different person.
Why is she in this whole situation?
You know what? What if she was flying by like in her jet, and then she literally crashed into whatever this anomaly is?
Maybe.
And that's why she's there.
Or she's one of the people that sent in to go investigate.
Yeah,
maybe.
But she's like, she's the one in the box. Oh my! So like, oh, that was the trick. Oh, and everyone starts clapping, and it was a big success, and everyone loved it. They go backstage, and then he's like, oh man, that was awful. I'm so sorry, Wanda. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel so weird. And then Wanda uses like her magic to look into his body, and she sees that there's gum, and then it gets a little happy face. So
I wonder if she saw the cartoon.
Yeah, she literally saw the cartoon.
Yeah.
And then she like, pulls it out, and he's like, oh. Then he tries to tell a joke. Oh, I'm not so funny without it. Let's get out of here before.
And then the one with the hat they figured out, but they opened up the thing and it was mirrors. Oh, it was mirrors that did it.
Yeah. But that makes no sense because you didn't see the mirrors. And then like even the other lady was like, "Oh, the mirrors," and then Dottie's like, "Shut up and just watch."
Yeah.
So it's
I think she knows more what's going on.
I think once she kind of broke out of it, she kind of has like a
little more understanding. Okay, this is a little bit.
So they try to sneak off. Hey, you two, never in all of our talent shows have an act like yours. You think it's gonna be something negative? You're the funniest thing ever. So they go up there and get their trophy. And I do like the fact that they included the other lady too, the Monica in there too.
Oh, Vision did. Yeah, come here.
Because she was part of the show too.
Yeah.
And no, it's wonderful, and it was for the children. For the children.
It's like, wow, okay.
That's Hydra, if there ever was one. So like everything was happy, and they they thank her. So how'd you do that trick? Oh, a magician never tells. And I'm not saying anything either. I know I always liked you. So it's so like
Yeah.
this weirdness of happening.
I actually like Wanda's magician outfit.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah.
So they get home and like, oh, they want to, like, oh no, why I was so worried. We did such a good job, and she has her little trophy. She's gonna put literally like the most generic.
Yeah, it's a tiny little like thing.
So they put up on the thing and they sit on the couch. I'm like, oh, is this how the episode ends? They sit on the couch and they kind of hold each other. You hear another noise. Oh, I'm gonna find out what this is. Oh, if it's one of those tree branches, you better get him. He goes out there and he walks onto the lawn. And they look around and they see the manhole start to move. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, and everything changes again.
Yeah, it kind of feels weird.
Yeah.
Then
He's
Yeah.
like bees around.
oh no,
Oh,
no, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
She's pregnant now. Because then they kiss and everything, and she's like, oh, is this real? She's like, yes, this is real. Then they hear the noise and then they go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the manhole moves, and then we see someone in a beekeeper outfit.
And he has a symbol on his back. We thought it was sword,
But
there's
it's
two
not.
lines.
It's a circle and has some lines. I have no idea.
I have no
what it is.
idea what it is. We figured out the first two, but I don't know what the third one is.
I the only thing I guess like we're thinking
Aim?
maybe aim.
Maybe, but there's
With
so many
MODOK?
competing different. Yeah.
So, anyway, so we have whatever these people are. We think they might be AIM. Who knows? But what's the thing with the bees?
Who knows?
And there's literally bees all around them.
So
Whatever.
was it them making the noise?
Yeah, and they were like investigating the whole time.
Alright.
But so we know we have Hydra involved. We have Sword involved in whatever these people are.
Yeah.
Then he's like, what is this, Wanda? What's happening? He's like, is this what we're looking for? And then, or she sees something, and he's like, then Wanda's like, no, it isn't. And then like
She rewinds
a tape.
Yeah.
And everything rewinds, goes back to them where you're looking at her stomach and she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant all of a sudden. It just came out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
And then she's like, yes, it's real. They kiss, and then there's color.
Yeah.
Then color starts to fade through the whole entire house. I'm like, oh, now we're moving ahead another
Now it looks
decade.
in the 60s now.
Yeah, late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
That's probably the next episode. Then we get the same little symbol closing the end.
And when at the end we have Wanda who's doing to this
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, there's someone on the voice signal again trying to get connect. But who's doing
Wanda,
this? What's
Wanda,
going on?
who's doing this to you?
Yeah.
Wow. So I definitely think
This episode's way
way
better.
better. I think they should start with this episode and people can be invested because, okay, what's the mystery? The first one didn't really have mystery.
Yeah, and then
No.
the first one besides the dinner scene, there was no real. You watch it after you see all the other ones. Then you
Yeah.
can watch that one.
Because I can see that first episode turning people off like big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is super cool. I don't know if they're gonna do 2 episodes a week because like they premiered 2 episodes.
You almost feel like the first one was a pilot. It
Yeah.
doesn't even feel like a real.
I think that was meant as a pilot because I think they were thinking where you guys are thinking like you really don't need to see this if you don't want to.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna be into the surrealism of it, don't watch the first episode because you're gonna be like, oh, what is this?
Yeah,
This one gives you way more information. It gets you into okay, what's going on here.
exactly. So yeah, pretty good. I can't wait for the next one.
I can't wait to see it next week.
It's definitely this second episode really got that. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
what's happening now because stuff
Because
happens.
the characters are interesting.
Yeah, and now it's in color.
Yeah, I know.
And we're
That's
talking
better.
crappy 1960 color, but it's color. Now I bet you they
Yeah.
can do the 60s stuff now.
But yeah, the Mind Stone on that cabinet, the Hydra symbol, a lot of cool stuff. I want to see
So
what's
is
all
Wanda
goes.
somewhat controlling this to a point?
She's definitely controlling this, but did she get trapped or did she want to be trapped in it?
I think you know what it is. Maybe she did get trapped, but now she's using it to her advantage.
but she got lost in it too.
But why is
She's
Hydra
lost.
involved?
Because like I said, I think it's a weird anomaly that something
Everyone's
happened
trying to
and
break in.
everyone's like going.
And maybe
in.
that beekeeper guy's finding a way to break into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing he had in his hand, maybe in our vision, we think, oh, some beekeeper thing, but it's actually like a spectrometer
Well,
or
because
something.
maybe he has to be like it's in the confines of the late 50s.
And maybe in real life he's in a suit that's protecting him from the anomaly, so
Yeah.
he can walk around, but
and he's not affected
he's
by
not
it.
affected by it. And like you said, you might have Wanda just standing there like this, all like, and they're asking like, "Well, who's doing this to you, Wanda? We need to help you."
Yeah, I know.
Definitely
Yeah,
cool.
interesting.
Definitely want to see where this goes. That'd be cool if Quake was in this. Let's start connecting it with the freaking Agents of
Yeah, I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
know, because she's ahead of Sword. That's what happened in this series. And Max ahead of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And I
That's
would
what
love it because it
happened.
would be the first connection between a Marvel type movie thing and with
Yeah,
a
but
TV show.
Foggy and them have that, pissing contest. Oh, I can control this. Guys,
Yeah,
who just cares
yeah.
about that?
We'll just make the best Marvel.
Yeah, let's just all connect it.